Thank you for staying with Checkpoint. To that special feature we had promised you earlier on. Now, when stories emerge from Saudi Arabia, they often paint grim pictures, and not once, twice, or thrice. In fact, we have lost count. You'd probably hear of a Kenyan woman stranded due to harsh working conditions, deportation, or worse, victims of unexplained deaths. But this story unveils a different pain. Kenyan children born stateless in Saudi Arabia, children whose mothers cannot bring them home. These children are the products of forbidden love, born into circumstances where they're neither officially recognized by their birth countries nor registered in Kenya. With no legal identity, they're denied basic rights and protection. Our reporter, Vera Mora, highlights these stories of children born out of forbidden love in the Gulf. Listen in.
Stories emerge from Saudi Arabia. They often paint a grim picture. Not once, twice, or thrice. I've lost count. You'll probably think of a Kenyan woman stranded in Saudi due to harsh working conditions, deported, or worse, victims of unexplained death. But this story unveils a different pain. Children born stateless in Saudi Arabia, who their mothers cannot bring them back to Kenya. These children are products of forbidden love. I tell this story with a heavy heart because by the time of airing this piece, a Kenyan lady, Sylvia, I've known for many years, would have begun her 2-year contract in Saudi Arabia. My name is Vera Mora, and this is Fruits of Forbidden Love. Thousands of miles away in Saudi Arabia, heartbreaking stories of Kenyan mothers unfold. These women set out with dreams of better lives for their families back home, only to find themselves trapped in foreign lands with children born out of undocumented relationships.
The agent told me I'm going to Dubai, and I found myself here. Then I came, I can't even remember the year I came, but I came in 2020, I don't know. Right now I'm like 10 years, 11 years now.
8 years have passed since Edith Ingasiani gave birth to Blessing Iminza, a child without an official identity, and each day is a painful reminder that her dreams of returning home remains just that, a dream. Ingasiani left her employer 6 months into her contract due to what she described as difficult working conditions. Desperate for help, she met a fellow migrant worker from Ghana who offered her support. Over time, their friendship grew into a romance, eventually resulting into the birth of baby Iminza. But the love story took a tragic turn. Her partner, a driver, was killed in a road accident before learning about the pregnancy. Left alone, Ingasiani faced an uncertain future, unable to legally register her daughter.
Then I just said, hello. I said, hello, who is that? He said, oh, my name is Steve. Your husband got an accident. Said what? Then died. So it did not really ring that time. I said, can you give Baki the phone? He said, Baki can't tell you. Baki has given me the phone, and I'm telling you, your husband got an accident and died on the spot.
Alone in her struggles, she realized she had to navigate the challenges of motherhood and find new ways of sending money home to support her family. But she was staring at a bigger setback. With her identity documents confiscated by her former employer, she could not register her daughter.
When you have a child here, it needs a birth notification. Then you get a birth certificate for this country. And once you get the birth certificate, you have to be paying 400 every month for the child. Residence fee, 400 riyal.
Back home in Kakamega, her family was struggling. She lost her ailing father in 2022. Her mother's death in February 2023 was even more devastating.
In January, my mom became very sick. She was in the hospital. I said, Mom, I want to come home. She said, you have to come. Say, Mom, I need to do process so I can come home. So in February, when I wanted to go home, my mom died. I went to the embassy and told them I want to go home. My father just died and my mom also died. They told me, oh, because we need the birth certificate for your daughter. I said, I don't have. Asked me how old is she? I said, she's 8 years old. He told me 8 years. In a year, there is 12 months. So 400 times 12. I need to calculate that every year for 8 years. I was supposed to pay 36,000 real. They told me we can make process for you to go and you can leave your daughter. I asked them, how can I leave my daughter? 8 years, I've been struggling with her. Said there's no another way we'll do.
In 2017, Saudi Arabia's government introduced a policy that dedicated that every foreign employee must pay a monthly resident fee for every dependent family member. As of October 2024, Ingasiani owed 9,400 reals, about 323,000 Kenyan shillings, in accumulated fees. But even if she had the money, she couldn't pay without her daughter's birth certificate.
I always tell her, nafanya kazi nipate pesa ndio twende nyumbani. So she knows I have to work to get money to go home. Kila wakati alikuwa anauliza, kwani embassy inataka tuwalipe pesa ngapi ndio twende nyumbani?
Oh.
Because I used to go with her. Unaenda embassy wanakuangalia tu kama sijui, yani unakaa ni kama umeingia mahali hutakiwi. Huwezi ingia na simu huko, unaambiwa uache simu pale, kwa sababu wanajua ukiingia huko ndani wanaenda kukutukana. Hawataki usikie unini ukuwe na simu huko ndani.
She claims that while other countries assist their citizens in returning home with their children, Kenya's embassy in Riyadh has been unresponsive.
Kenya embassy, I went there like, I don't know how many times. The last time they called me, they told me to go get birth certificate for my daughter for Kenya. So last year, I called at the embassy. We went there. I went there 2 days.
I spoke to young Iminza. She yearns for the simple joy of childhood that seems out of reach. She dreams of going to school and reuniting with her extended family back in Kenya.
My mom is sick. She has no money. She is suffering. And we really need to go back home. I need to see my family. Go to school. I'll be very happy. Even now, I'll be happy if I see my family. And I can't. And I really want to see them.
As Ingasiani navigates the complexities of her situation, her story resonates with many Kenyans living in Saudi Arabia. Lynette Nyongesa, another Kenyan mother in Saudi Arabia, left her employer in 2015 and lives undocumented. She has a 4-year-old son born out of a relationship with a Ghanaian man, but without legal documents. They too cannot return to Kenya. Recently, her son was mistreated while in daycare, but she could not report it due to fear of deportation.
Ambapo 2019 ndio nikapata mtoto. Alienda akae from Uganda. Kawa tumepata mtoto na that guy hatukuendanisha vizuri. And then from there, nikifungua 2020, ndio nilizaa.
Like hundreds of other Kenyans, she delivered her baby at home. But her child too is neither recognized in Saudi nor in Kenya. For more than 10 years, she has unsuccessfully tried to come home to her 3 other children in Bungoma. because of an unpaid resident fee of 400 riyals for her child.
Sasa ni embassy tu nyinyi ndio labda mnasaongea na embassy. Ukienda huko nafukuzwa. Labda nyinyi tu ndio muongea na wao. Wakati mtoto aliumizwa nikapigia mmoja simu akaniambia niende polisi.
Other Kenyans in Saudi Arabia share similar fates. Branis Munyanya, stuck with a 10-month-old baby, is part of a WhatsApp support group of Kenyan mothers in Saudi Arabia with about 253 members titled Deportation Mothers with Kids, and other groups on the same platform titled Deportation Kids and Pregnancy have 142 and 447 members respectively.
Saa mtu kama mimi nilizaliwa hospitali juu baba ya mtoto wangu ako kwa contract na ako na kila kitu, ako na igama kila kitu, idea huku. So walinialau kwenda hospitali since clinic, nikakuja nikajifungua. Saa ile harakati ya kujifungua nikanyimwa notification ya hospitali ati sina ID ya huku. So nikakuja kwenda usaidizi embassy nao tena wananirudisha huko penye nilizalia. Tukienda huko penye nilizalia wanaitisha ID na marriage certificate. Yaani tukijaribu njia zote zimejifunga kabisa. Nikakuja nikajaribu, nikapata niko na marriage certificate sahihi but bado imejifunga, na bado wanasema tukipata hiyo birth certificate ya huku tutalipia kila mwezi mtoto 450 ya huku, 450 ya huku. So mtoto wangu juu ako na 10 months unafanya 450 times 10 zenye hata hatuwezi. Kuna wengine sahi wako kwa street na watoto.
For Helen Faith Wanjiru, a mother of 2, the challenge goes beyond just being unable to bring her 9-month-old baby back from Saudi Arabia. She's also dealing with threats from her ex-lover and the father of her daughter, who has vowed to harm them if he doesn't gain custody of the baby. Although she gave birth in a hospital, the father, who is of Sudanese origin, did not give his documents to facilitate the process. Wanjiru too breached her employment contract and went in pursuit of greener pastures.
Msichana ananitumia tu messages, ananiambia mami kuna shida, mami sijui kuna edaje. Huyu kijana ni Msudan. Sasa ikafika mahali ndio akaniambia mami mimi nitatoka. Nikamwambia we jipange uone kama utaweza kutoka, usije ukamaliziwa kwa nyumba. Huyu kijana ananitumia message za threat. Message zenye anatuma ananiambia ataua msichana wangu na ama mpeleke jela na sitamuona forever. Ananiambia atachukua mtoto na ataenda na yeye ampeleke dadake na hatutamuona, na mtoto ni mtoto mdogo. Anasema atakanyanga huyu msichana na anipigie picha kama amemkanyanga kwa shingo akimmaliza. Kuna message nyingine alikuwa amesema atamuua, anitumie message, anitumie hiyo picha ya hiyo maiti yake ama mpeleke jela. Karudi akasema sio yeye mwenyewe atamuua, atatafuta watu, yeye na mkono wake hawezi muua, lakini atatafuta watu na venye watamfanya nisije nika-regret.
KTN reached out to Roslyn Jogo, Principal Secretary for Diaspora Affairs, who acknowledged that the government is aware of these issues and assured that discussions with Saudi authorities are ongoing. She wrote to us saying, and I quote, "The government of Kenya, through our embassy in Riyadh, has been working on modalities to ensure challenges faced by our citizens in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia are addressed accordingly." End of quote.
Ukiwa peke yako ni rahisi. Unajishikisha, unajipeleka deportation, alafu unadeportiwa. Lakini ukiwa na mtoto, ndio wanakataa. Hawataki tusafiri na watoto. Lazima tulipie.
I don't have passport. I don't have ID. I don't have anything. Even my ID, they took my ID.
But as talks continue, hundreds remain stateless, unknown, undocumented, and burdened by mounting fees. These children are products of forbidden love, born into circumstances where their birth countries do not recognize them and they're not registered in Kenya. Without legal identity, they are denied basic rights, and protection. My name is Vera Mora, and this is Fruits of Forbidden Love.
When we come back, we take you to the self-declared state of Somaliland that is preparing for a crucial presidential